With today's lovely Honeybell like cakes. So here I have 3 eggs. This is 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence mixed with 1 teaspoon of honey. This is 3 tablespoons of milk. This is about 3/4 of a cup of butter at room temperature. This is 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour or maida, 3/4 cup of icing sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder. So those are our ingredients. That's all we require. Now I'm going to add the milk to the eggs. We are also going to be adding a mixture of honey and vanilla essence, and we're going to whisk the mixture together. Now you could increase the amount of honey to 2 teaspoons also, but I like to keep it a little bit less. I don't want the honey to overpower the flavor of this dish. Now I'm going to mix up all the dry ingredients. So I'm adding my baking powder to the all-purpose flour maida, and I'm just going to mix it in together. Now we're going to add the icing sugar a little at a time and whisk everything well together. So I mixed in about half of the icing sugar first, and now I'm going to pour in the rest of the icing sugar and mix everything well together. So here we have all our dry ingredients together and give everything a good mix. So now, since all our dry ingredients are nice and mixed together, we're going to add our butter, which has to be at room temperature. And then we're going to fold in the butter into the dry ingredients. They have to get in well, mixed up well. That is, the butter and the dry ingredients should be mixed up very, very well. And then we're going to add half of our wet ingredients, and we are going to give everything a good mix. Now you can switch to a whisk. We found that the whisk was much more helpful once we added the wet ingredients. And then we're going to add the remaining of the wet ingredients mixture. Now you will realize that this batter is a little on the thicker and denser side. It's not very, very liquidy or light. It is a little on the denser side. But that's how we want the cake batter to be. So give everything a good mix so that all the ingredients get mixed up very, very well. Now this would be a good time to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Now I'm going to leave the measures of everything in the description box below. Now you get these type of cake molds in this long Honeybell kind of shape, Honeybell cake shape. So just take a scooper and or any spoon, a regular spoon, and just scoop in the mixture. Don't worry if it's not all very neat, because once we tap down the baking tin, everything gets settled very well. So just fill that in. I'm just showing you a close-up of how I'm filling in the mixture. And here we have about 15 of these Honeybell type of cakes, and I'm going to put them in my oven, and I'm going to bake them for at least 30 minutes. at 180 degrees Celsius. Now you will see how beautifully they keep changing color and they get a lovely, nice, dark brown coating on the top. And now we're just going to test them by poking a knife. And if a knife comes out nice and clean, that means your cakes are all ready. So it took me exactly 25 minutes in my oven, but every oven is different. So now we're just going to let them cool on a rack like this. Let them completely cool down. And our Honeybell kind of cake is all ready to enjoy. So once it has cooled down, you can just take off the paper wrapping. Excuse the pink color on my hand. I was preparing some icing and I got a little bit of color on my fingers. And now you can see it's a little bit warm still, but once you break it, it's so soft on the inside and it is so very, very delicious. So now you can make your own Honeybell cakes at home. You can even decorate them with some icing. And it's so soft and so moist and just perfect.